And for wonderful romantic advice like that, that's why we do the Love Doctors. Let's say you have a little bit of a love problem. Go ahead and submit that on the Be on the Playhouse page at 194.com, and we'll give you that common sense advice a couple of times a week here on the Playhouse. Love Doctors, Love Doctors. You are the love gurus. I recently started seeing somebody, and he's great. But I've noticed that he has a good deal of waxy, golden brown buildup in his ears every few days. It is a little bit deeper, so it's only obvious to people if they're right next to him. But I don't know how to say something about it without embarrassing him. But it kind of looks like he could make a candle out of what if he's got hanging out in his ear. What would you do if you were me?
She said she just started seeing him.
Hey, it's so good to be seeing you. I love the past couple of dates we've been on. Here's a Q-tip.
See, you couldn't do that. Do you just... I don't know.
You wouldn't, walk away from an otherwise good guy because he got a little bit of wax in his ears, would you?
Oh, I probably would, yeah.
That would be a deal breaker for you.
Because then, once I saw it, that's all I'd be able to stare at. I would, depending on how it's going, I think you could say something, but you can't just hand him a Q-tip. You would have to be nice about how you said it. I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I noticed you have a lot of wax in your ears.
Do you preface it like something like that where you're kind of saying, I feel awkward saying this?
Yeah.
And kind of, I don't want to make you feel embarrassed, but I just got to let you know.
You have to let them know. One time I was on a date with a guy and his breath was so bad. I asked him if he could take a shot of Rumplemints.
Well, and he probably thought, well, I better do that because there might be a makeout set coming.
That's the worst advice.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
It's important to me to know this.
It was not Steven.
But did you make out with that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And is that the reason you said you need some breath mints because you were planning on making out with that guy?
It smelled like he ate, I don't know. His breath was not good. I said, you need to take a shot of Rumplemints or something. Your breath smells terrible.
Rumplemints?
Yeah.
What is a Rumplemint?
It's like mouthwash, but a shot.
Oh.
There's alcohol.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Now I understand. And Love Doctors, yeah, the Love Gurus. I cheated on my girlfriend. And I want to be honest with her about it, but I'm worried she'll break up with me. Any advice?
You cheated on her and you think she's going to break up with you. Well, I think if she did, you deserve it. And you should definitely tell her, be honest.
So I agree with everything Amy just said. I think that probably what somebody would be looking for in that conversation is some explanation as to why that happened, some remorse, obviously, and some sort of reason that they should believe and trust that it's never going to happen again.
Would you want to know the reason why someone cheated on you, or would you care, or would you just be like, you cheated, we're done?
See, I personally would, but if I'm actually trying to tell somebody who thinks there's maybe a chance of salvaging that, I think you have to have that trifecta. You have to have the genuine remorse, you have to have the why, and you have to have the why it's not going to happen again. Now,
and then stick with it. If she's staying with you, you can never do it again. I do think you tell her, though.
Now, by all means, I think your relationship probably has a very good chance of being done, but I think you have to have that I'm sorry trifecta in there. If you're taking notes, it's the I'm sorry, it's the remorse and the why, and why it's never going to happen again.
And is it all in that order?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to have it something like that. And finally, today, Love Doctors, you're the Love Gurus. What do you guys think about this? My boyfriend slept over at my house the other night, and we got hammered, more drunk than we've ever gotten together. We fooled around and passed out when I woke up. I felt that my backside was soaked, and I realized that he peed in my bed.
Oh.
I was completely disgusted because I never have been with a guy who did that before, and he said that's never happened to him before. It must just because he was so drunk. I couldn't talk to him after that, and I was so grossed out when he left, and now I haven't really talked to him much in 2 days. I don't know how or if I bring it up again, if we talk more about this, or what do I do? Can I date somebody that peed in my bed?
I think you can still date him, yes. I think he just had a full bladder when he went to bed. I have a friend who she's known for having accidents after a night of drinking. We used to have to make her go to the bathroom before she would go to sleep.
Well, and I think if you learn something, you said right in there, you guys have never gone that crazy before. You've learned you probably shouldn't be going that crazy.
Yeah, he's learned his limit. He was well past the limit, obviously, but I wouldn't hold it against him. It's not like he did it on purpose. It was an accident.
We have, on more than one occasion, really discussed the fact how intoxicated people, adults, and toddlers are basically the same, and you could treat him as such. Let's say you guys did have a night of drinking. You do the same thing you might do with a little kid. Be like, all right, before we go to bed, before I tuck you in, need you to use the potty.
That's what you have to do.
Not a bad idea.
One of my friends, she will go to the bathroom in the bed, so we always have to make sure, have you gone to the bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to bring you one more time. You need to go because we've all learned the hard way. All of our beds have been ruined.
Well, I don't have to.
Yeah.
Just try.
Try it.
Just give it a shot, okay?
Turn me on to something good.